Hi everyone, this is Tony from digitalreadymarketing.com. In this video, we are going to talk about how to optimize images. So WordPress has done a really good job providing us with easy to use interface to optimize images. And as you might know, you just need to mouse over wherever in the content and click on Add Media. And this is where you can optimize the image. You can upload a new file or you can change some of the parameters of the existing images. And first thing to point out is the file name. So if you are thinking of uploading new files, you might want to think about adding keyword in your file name. So the keyword that you want the image to rank for. In case you don't know, Google has an image search. So in case you are thinking about making your images rank high within image searches, you should think about including a keyword in your file name. Now, this is not a really heavily weighted factor, so it's nice to have. So in considering, a file name with 1, 2, 3 and file name with this like mountain sample background, of course, for Google, this one will rank higher compared to just 1, 2, 3. And don't go too crazy about this though. Like I mentioned, it's not a heavily weighted factor. So if you already have thousands of images on your site, don't bother go back and change the file name. It just from moving forward, if you are going to upload a lot of files, think about, and you want them to rank, think about adding a file name that's descriptive and also containing a keyword. Now moving down the list, as you can see here, there's a title, and this has nothing to do with the front end. So you can type in anything here. It doesn't appear anything in the front. This is more for your organizational purpose. So let me do a quick experiment here. So I can type this ZZZ and I can type B. It doesn't appear, but when I type Z, it appears. So as you can see, this is more for your organization. You want to have a descriptive title in case later on you want to find it, those kind of stuff. Now, as far as SEO goes, caption and image alt text, these two have some influence, but image alt text has more influence in comparison to caption. And what caption does, you probably already noticed, but it basically adds a small text beneath the image and explain what this image is about. And it does, when you look at the source, it does add a bit more text. So Google does consider this as additional text, but it doesn't have a really heavy weight ranking factor within this caption. So if you don't have time, you don't want to add caption, that is fine. You should spend time though on alt text. As I said, it has heavier weight when it comes to ranking factors. And this is really the way Google knows what kind of image that you have on the site. So considering, depending on the resource you have, if there's nothing else you want to do, the only thing you only want to do one thing to optimize your image, change your alt tag, and that will help the ranking of your image substantially. Description, again, it doesn't really help in terms of SEO. So those are the options that we have here. And there's a few more things I want to talk about. So the first thing is the image title attribute. So what this does is this will add a small text when you mouse over. As you can see here, it appears here, and this one doesn't have one. So when you mouse over, it doesn't appear. So this is more for user experience rather than ranking, even though Google does see this, but it doesn't really affect much. And so, don't even try to stuff keyword in here and try to make it rank high because it doesn't help. It's more for user experience. And another thing I want to point out is the link reel. So here you can add things like a no follow, something like that. Since you have an option to add a custom UI also in case you want the image to jump to other website or something, and you can click on this option so that you will open a new window and you can add no follow attribute here so that the link juice will not follow out And in case you're not familiar with nofollow, I will provide a link in the video notes section so you can find out what nofollow attribute is. But now, before we go, actually, let me show you how to add nofollow. So it's very easy. You just have to add nofollow here. And let's make it pointing to something that we can easily see the difference. So abc.com. And for this other image, I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then without any nofollow there, hit update, and let's see what it will look like in front. So let's also refresh this page. And what I'm going to do is to inspect element. And as you can see right here, here's the image, and there is the link that goes to abc.com with nofollow. Whereas the other image here, it's pointing to within the site without the nofollow. So that's how you add nofollow, a real nofollow attribute. And just a side note, it's not a really good practice adding nofollow just because you want to retain the juice, the link juice. Because Google has already changed the way link juice flow. So some people think, by adding nofollow, I'll be able to accumulate link juice and not making a leak to other websites. Google is clever enough to already spot that kind of thinking way back in 2009, 2010. So nowadays, SEO professionals believe that it's best to just leave it as follow. So don't add nofollow, just leave it as is and make it flow naturally. And if you have link going out to authoritative sites, that will increase the trust factor of your site, because you're referring, saying, look, here's what the fact is, and here is what's mentioned on this authoritative site. And to show that Google, your information is relevant to this other site, and that's why you're linking to it. And by adding nofollow, you're kind of doing the opposite thing. You're making Google think, well, is there something that you're hiding from me? Why are you adding nofollow here? So there's a best practice when to use nofollow, but in terms of thinking about making your link juice not leaking so that your site will rank higher, that thinking is not working anymore. It does not work anymore. Okay, so that's pretty much it with regards to image optimization. So to sum it up, as we said, basically image alt tag is the most important. Alt text is also known as image alt tag. It is most important. That if you just want to do one thing, you should just do that. If you have the resource, and again, don't change everything that's on your site. If you want to upload something new, when you're uploading something new, a new image, then you probably want to think about adding a keyword in the file name. Otherwise, all the other ones are more sort of accessory. They don't really contribute to the ranking, but they just a better user experience, and that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.